Hey Leo, welcome to your first week of January Pick a Card reading. We're going to be breaking down your monthly theme, which is the Ten of Wands, and this came out in your 2020 forecast, and the link to that is below. And also the week energy is Dry Desert, and that came out in your January general, and that video is linked below, so you can get more of my description on what this energy means. But in general, we're talking about a week where you are going to have a lot of commitments and responsibilities, and you're just going to have to kind of get through it somehow, and it could be a drag, but we're going to see what these cards have for you to help advise you on how to move through it the most smoothly. I'm using Animal Allies and the Bosch Tarot, and I have stack 1, stack 2, and stack 3. Go ahead and pause the video and choose which one is for you, and then check the timestamp so you can fast forward to your messages. And please comment below which one you picked, and if you like it or if you have questions about it, I'm happy to answer any questions. And also, if you'd like a more personal reading, my Etsy page is linked below too. So let's start with stack 1 for Leo. You have Page of Cups, the Fool, and Spider. So with these, Leo, I feel like it's going to be very important to pay attention to your thoughts this week, because it is telling me that your thoughts are very powerful this week, and your thoughts can become things. And so while whatever this is that you're working on, that you're committed to, all these responsibilities that are weighing you down this week, it is something that you're building for the future, and it is something you want to make sure it doesn't have negativity woven into it. And so this is saying to make sure you don't get wrapped up in any cynicism and resentment and starting to feel bogged down by this too much. Try to keep your eyes on the prize, so to speak, and make sure that your energy and your vibe that you're addressing all of this with remains productive and positive and forward thinking, so that it doesn't become like an impurity in the works that upsets the result that you get later on down the line, because it is showing your thoughts being very powerful and your mindset being very powerful to create. And so making sure that your mental space is conducive and that you aren't weaving in little things into the process that are going to upset things later on. That's stack 1. Stack 2, you have Knight of Wands, 6 of Pentacles, and Jellyfish. So the thing you're going to need to get through this dry desert this week is going to be ask for help. The biggest message I get from these is to let your friends help you, to call in any favors, and at the same time to carry your own weight, to make sure that it's not to let people carry you, but to let people help you out and to shoulder some of the burden. It feels to me like asking for a ride, saying like, you know what, if I drop this thing off on the way, I'm going to be late. Can you just come pick it up? That kind of thing. Be assertive and asking for the help that you need, and asking for the favors that you need, and calling in debts that people may owe you. And there are resources all around. You just have to be willing and aggressive in asking for them. That's what I'm getting for stack number 2. For stack number 3, you have 10 of Wands. Looks kind of familiar. We have a synchronicity there. The Chariot and Crab. So with these, I'm feeling the message here is going to be a call to move laterally instead of forward. With these wands, they're going to be kind of blocking your view, and you're not going to be able to stride forward very confidently. It's telling me to think in a less linear fashion, and more in a sidestepping fashion. If you can't move forward, you can see you can see the steps next to you, and to move sideways and to go this way and that way instead of moving. So it's going to be definitely thinking outside of the box and looking for alternatives that aren't necessarily the most logical in front of you, but how can you go around the situation. And it's also showing me compartmentalization, and like instead of moving forward through one task and seeing it through, and then moving forward to the second task and seeing it all the way through, it feels like doing a certain portion of this and wrapping it up and moving on to the next step one of this and finish, step one of the next thing and finish, and step one of the third thing and then finish. And then you're going to go back to the first thing and do step two, and then step two on this. So it's like, it's going to be like a zigzag instead of a forward motion. So how can we move in a lateral way to get through this kind of tough week? So that's my ideas for that one. So stay tuned. I'm going to do a video for the second week of January. Thanks, Leo.